the sons and daughters of the soul. We are resilient and forever forward-thinking. We ask for nothing else than the opportunity to live and to create the lives that we were meant to live. We want nothing but an equal chance at options and possibilities. The same possibilities and options to live out our potential as our fellow man. We want to be heard, understood, and expressive in our reality. We are the future. We are the creative. We are here.
Hello, and welcome once again to another fantastic Tuesday where I do what I do best is help you leverage your score. Good afternoon, everyone, and my name is Tyrone Glover, and I am the Dress Down CEO of Leverage Credit Recovery, and I am always grateful to be able to do what I do right here on Soul City Network, here from Yonkers, New York. So yes, folks, I'm telling you, as we get closer and closer to the holidays, I know it's really important that we reach out and say hello and we bless everybody. Please make sure you're making those phone calls, folks. Make sure you're talking to and reaching out to those in your nearest and even those who are far away. You never know what someone's going through. But the silly seasons, the gifting seasons, the seasons that are upon us, let's do our part. Let's do our part to make sure that we're living up to our expectations. And with that being said, Soul City Network. Great place to be, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, if you have not, you need to check us out. We are on Verizon. We are on Roku. We are on Fire TV. We are on Apple TV. This network is doing its thing, and I am so grateful to be a part of this family. So with that being said, we want to give a shout out to the creator, because without him, none of this would be possible. Let's move on into the subject matter that we're going to be talking about today. All right, the state of your credit. What is the state of your credit? How are things going, folks? How are things going? How are you managing? Are you managing to the good? Are you managing to the negative? What can we do to help you? But I hope this show, as well as the previous shows, will help you understand the things that you're going to have to do. Because if you do these things, I'm telling you, if you get out of your own way, you're going to be successful. It's now time to get out of our way. Let's make this last Christmas season where we are just giving. But the question that I'm asking you, as you're giving, are you coming out of pocket? Or are you coming out of profit? Which one is it? Because if you're coming out of pocket, you're paying way too much. For everyone who's thinking that they're getting a deal this Christmas season, I still want you to go out there. Still want you to do, because it's important. I know we get that mental understanding and we got to do what we got to do. But I want you to start slowly thinking, what am I doing? Am I doing more harm or am I doing more good? I can tell you right now, I'm the insider's insider. I'm telling you, you're doing more harm. You're doing more harm. And we need to send a resounding message out there to the public, to big business, to big banks, to big real estate, to big investments. We have caught on. And you can't keep using us in the manner in which you're using us. And you definitely got to stop abusing us. You definitely got to. But again, as I stated, we're going to jump into the subject matter, and we'll talk more about that understanding in a later show, because I believe it's really important. I'm going to attempt to bring in some of my experts in their area of expertise, and we're going to have a sit down. We're going to have a heart to heart, and I'd love to start doing this in the new year where we can really start helping our people before that November 5th timeframe comes around, where we got that next election. Because that next one is going to be, a doozy, folks. But as I said, the state of your credit. What is the state of your credit? The most important 3-digit numbers in your life is that credit score. Is that credit score when it comes to your financial understanding? What do you know about it? How are you navigating around it? How are you making the most important understanding financial decisions based on that number? Because trust me when I tell you, you're not going to be able to acquire or get anything without making sure that number, you're going to pay your bread, you're going to come out of pocket, yes, I said, but you should be coming out of profit. Because in pockets, we can clearly tell you they're not getting fuller. I don't care what any of these news pundits say. You get a 2% increase, somebody's going to snatch it away because they've increased everything around you 4%. They have to stop running around here talking about, oh, well, the middle class and the working poor, or they just got a huge increase. Yeah, we get it. We did. Got a huge increase. But as we stated, got a huge increase, and then prices went up, gas went up, food went up, all of the things that were essential went up. But they went up, they didn't go up 2, they went up 4, they went up 6. We had gouging going on where we need to get regulators into this understanding, and they need to hire more people statewide, federally, to go around scanning prices. How do I know that? Because I just told you. I'm an insider's insider. I know more about you than you know about yourself when it comes to your financial understanding, when it comes to your behavior, how you use and spend that money. And my job is to help you with holding on to more of that money, not just willy-nilly giving it away. All right, so like I said, the most important 3-digit numbers that you should be literally paying a very dear and near close attention to. And I hope that next year, at the beginning, day 2, because I'm going to give you 1 to recover. But on day 2, I hope you are ready to rock and roll and make sure that that pocket is secure and make sure that you're spending profit and not pocket. All right, so the agenda for today is we're going to talk about credit reports and credit scores, how a good credit score works, the different scores in different loans, and a good credit score can save you money. All right, it can save you money. And last but not least, how to get a good credit score. And then I'm going to leave you off with a Q&A. Hopefully some of you are out there. You got some questions, drop them in that hotline. We're on YouTube, drop them in there. We're on Facebook, drop them in there. All right, I sent out my little signals. And if you haven't, I want you to do the same for me, please. If you could, I want you to go to your YouTube channel and send it out. Because look at your boy. I'm doing my thing. Yes, I'm doing it. That's me, YouTube. Go ahead and help me out. Get some of that good out there. Share that love, share that knowledge with your friends. Because these are shows now. These are shows that you want to watch, that you want to tune into. All right. So as we talk about those subject matters, again, part 1, credit scores and reports. What are yours and how are they doing? All right, so credit reports and ratings for credit. Comprehending your credit score and mastering the skills of deciphering your credit report is essential. Acquire the knowledge to obtain, analyze your report, dispute. Now that word is really tricky, because if you look it up in the dictionary, it means something that I did not do. All right, so I like to put it in there because of the fact that I like to be able to explain it. What you need to be doing with your reports is you need to be challenging the validity of whether or not that information is correct. All right, stop giving them the upper hand by setting you up for failure to begin. All right, so analyze your report, challenge inaccuracies within it, and enhance your overall credit score. Because we should not be living in these areas any longer, people. We should not be living in these areas with all the money that is on this planet, in this country alone. We should not. And the reasons why we have so many people in that area is because, number 1, they don't know. Number 2, they won't get up off their hiney parts to improve. It's complacency now. It's the fact that you just won't do. And I hope that these motivate you to do, because you know you're finding it more challenging. You know you're finding it more harder. And as interest rates come down, we saw Powell do some great things over the year. You might not be feeling it, African Americans and Hispanics, males primarily, and I'm going to definitely do a show before the election about why in the world do African American males and Hispanic males believe that that other guy, not the one who's currently in, but that other guy is going to do something to move the needle for you. That's a show. I'm going to be talking about that for a while. But anyway, we need to find ourselves up here in these 2 categories, excellent and good. Excellent and good. And I'm going to be working diligently to make sure that our people are getting out of these types of situations here and moving more into these types of situations here. Because if we do, I'm telling you, you can go back out and you can then shop. You can reward your favorite store. You can reward your whatever it is that you like as a specialty. If you like to go out to the clubs and hang out and do whatever, you can reward these places. You like the football games or the baseball games or whatever they may be, whatever your favorite activity is that you have to come out of pocket for, which I'm now instructing, directing that you come out of profit for. But if you don't know how to do that, then you have to start talking to those who do. All right. I come from a credit space and a credit lane, and I'm not even going to venture off into those other spaces that are not my area of expertise. But trust me when I tell you, I'm connecting with those who are. One of my dear friends, Dr. Yana B. Woodhouse, who is on this very network as well. Access Wealth Nation, folks. She is the queen. Someone who I dearly trust to handle whatever it is that I may have, and we exchange knowledge and understandings all the time. So it's not about just me giving you information, it's about me giving you value to your life that you're going to be able to move around with, and then passing you off to the next person who's going to equally complement that value to allow for you to, again, move to that next space. And then they pass you off to somebody else who's going to help you with. Again, it's about that networking. Your network is going to improve your net worth. All right, understand that. Your network is going to improve your net worth. You got to get out of your own way, folks. All right, so understanding the mechanisms of a positive credit score. Your credit score is a numerical representation comprised of 3 digits, serving a condensed overview of the details within your credit report. The report is continuously update accounts of your borrowing history, incorporating information provided by your creditors. The primary 3 credit bureaus, and again, I call them bureaus for a reason, but they're not bureaus. They have nothing to do with the federal government, and I know exactly why they attached it to that. They attached that word to the credit reporting agencies. Well, they did it for the sheer fact that we're scared. We are scared individuals. So anything that sounds like it could be an authority that might be coming after me, oh, they're going to use that to their advantage at any given moment. So again, they're not bureaus, they're agencies. Equifax TransUnion Experian compiles individual credit reports for you. Subsequently, a credit scoring model guided by a mathematical algorithm is applied to the data within these reports to generate a score whenever a lender initiates a request. All right, algorithms. All right, algorithms are written by people, and they're going to write these algorithms to suit who? You, the consumer? Absolutely not. They're going to write these algorithms to suit their own business needs. They're about making a profit. And that's why I said, if they're coming at a profit, shouldn't you as the consumer come at a profit? But we're too busy coming out of pocket because we don't understand that we have to operate our lives, orchestrate our understandings almost identically as a business. We need to remove the fact that we're called consumers, and we need to start focusing and operating just like a business, because every single one of you out there is the CEO of your household. And I want to ask you, CEOs, how's the household managing? Okay. Are you about bankrupt, meaning you can't file for it because you probably don't have enough assets to file for it, but are you about bankrupt? Are there things that you still don't know when it comes to managing that household? Well, if there is, are you securing the future for your kids as well? Because God knows, COVID snatched a lot of us up, left a lot of kids without one, not just one, but both parents. All right, we are living in the most craziest times that I could ever think about, But I know that there is resolve. I know that there is fixes. I know that there is opportunities beyond our wildest imaginations. All we have to do is seek out those willing partnerships, those individuals that want to help, sincerely want to help, because there are those out there, those snake oil salesmen, those carnies, those individuals that are doing it just for the sheer will of a profit. But there are also those out there who are doing it knowing that in the long run, that's still going to work out for them. And they don't mind taking the heavy lifting off of your back to make sure that you're going to be okay. And that's what we do here at Leverage Credit Recovery, because we want to make sure that you're okay. All right, but you got to remember, these are algorithms. These are mathematical formulas set up by individuals to do one thing and one thing only. Individuals, companies, whatever, however you choose, to do one thing and one thing only. That's to make sure that their bottom line is taken care of. That it's not about making sure that you have the best credit score, because law of population has already shown us that they are going to make out no matter what. But you're not, and you got to change that. Various scoring models leverage comparable elements of your borrowing history to calculate credit scores, including factors like payment histories on loan and credit cards, as well as total debt. However, these models assigned different weights to these factors, lending to variations in your in your score across different models. Additionally, distinct models establish diverse scoring ranges, potentially categorizing a score as good in one model while considering it fair or even excellent in another. So that basically means that Equifax, TransUnion, Experian, you could have one over here that's saying one thing and one over here saying another one, and that one in the middle saying something completely different. And by all means, I'm still trying to figure out, how is this possible? How? Because they should all be doing the exact same thing. But as you can see, their business model is going to suit their business need. Equifax's business model is going to suit Equifax's business need. TransUnion's business model is going to suit TransUnion's business need, and so forth and so on. But we can keep sitting here thinking that they got our best interest, that they're holding it down for us. I'm sorry to have to tell you that. That's not the case. It's not the case. All right. FICO generates distinct scoring tailored to the specific type of credit being pursued. For instance, a different score is employed when applying for an auto loan. Oh yeah, different score for different products, different scores for different products. All right, auto loan product, another for a mortgage application, and yet another for a new car, a credit card. Again, different products, different models. You have roughly somewhere around 23 to 28 credit scores. Seems kind of weird because I'm only one person. Right? I'm only one person, but to have that many scores to evaluate, and we're only looking at 3 entities, Equifax, TransUnion, Experian, and there is, from my understanding, there's another one out there, NVIDIA, NVIDIA or something related to that, and guess what they're doing? They're doing whatever they want to do. And it's really, 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 really sad. It's very sad that entities get to do that, and guess who ends up paying the price? We, the consumer. We end up paying the price. And that's got to stop. It's got to stop. It's got to stop, because if it stops, guess what? We're going to be in a better position. We're going to be able to definitely not take advantage. I don't like that word, but we're going to be able to excel. We're going to be able to move better, step a little bit more, have a little bit more bounce in that step, because now our financial situations have now been rectified to the degree in which we are now able to manage it even more effectively. But we got to get to that level to be able to manage it even to begin with. And I know it's challenging, folks. I know it's hard. All right. Furthermore, various creditors report information to different bureaus at different intervals. That's a big no-no, people. That's a huge no-no. Reporting is the most important piece of your credit profile. How is it being reported? And is it being reported accurately? And is it being reported on time? We've come to find out that they're taking up to 21 to 28 days to report. And they know us, as I said, they know us better than we know ourselves. All right. And they know that as soon as we make that payment, because most of us are in situations where it's paycheck to mouth, paycheck to mouth, paycheck to mouth. And what that means is you're going to pay your essentials, you're going to buy your food, and what's left over is going to be almost barely anything. So that means if you have credit products, you're going to have to turn right back around. As soon as you make that payment, you have to turn right back around and start using that credit again. But if you haven't waited the ideal time frame, which is 5 to 7 business days, guess what's going to happen? You're going to find yourself right back into that hole. That hole that you thought you were digging yourself out of, it seems to be pulling you right back into it. And there are ways to fix this problem. All right. Consequently, you might possess a favorable credit score based on one bureau's report and a less favorable score based on another, owing to these disparities in reporting practices. Right? Disparities, another terrible word that should not be put into our financial situations. There should not be any disparities. Things should be a bit more, not a bit more, but things should be much more favorable, profitable. We're not looking for fair any longer. We should be looking for equitable. Fair doesn't work. All right, it doesn't work. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, fair, effed up, emotional, or what is that? Is that the fair one? Effed up, insecure, needy, and emotional. Yes, that's the fair one. Effed up, insecure, needy, and emotional. That's way too many of us running around here today. All right, we don't want fair. We want equitable. All right. Irrespective of the scoring models applied, pursuing a good credit score subsequently reduces the statistical likelihood of payment delinquencies. This makes individuals with good credit scores in the eyes of lenders like banks, credit card companies, and auto dealers providing financing appear as low credit risks. Consequently, such individuals are deemed more credit worthy and are perceived as higher or having a higher probability of repaying their loans. As a result, they are more likely to secure approval for a mortgage, credit card, and other forms of credit. Moreover, they may qualify for more favorable terms, including a lower annual percentage rate, also known as APR, potentially resulting in a significant savings amounting to hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So, I mean, we really, it's as I said, it's really, really super simple and super easy. We have to just want it more than those who are offering it to us. And if we do, I'm telling you, you're going to benefit. You're going to benefit. The individual who wants to benefit is going to benefit. You just have to want it more than those who are presenting it, those who are giving it. And if you do, I'm telling you, as I said before, and I'm going to constantly keep saying, opportunity is knocking, folks. It is knocking. It is asking you, why don't you open that door? All right. Nevertheless, the precise credit score required for approval can vary depending on the lender and the type of loan being sought. All right. But if you're already up there in that status where you should be, guess what? Then there's nothing to worry about. You'll get what you need. You just have to get there first. And that's what we're going to do. We want to be your GPS. We want to navigate you through all of the complexities and some of the simplicities as well to get to where you want to be. And this right here, this is called a free opportunity to get some of that knowledge. What I do on Saturdays at the library is equally called a free opportunity. If you're looking for FREE, we got you. We got you. And if you want to do some of the heavy lifting as well, we'll hold it down for you too. You can keep coming back, getting that FREE information. Because we know how tight it is out there. We know how tight it is. And we're going to be doing everything that we possibly can to make sure that we can ease some of the understanding. Biden was talking about, they need people to talk to this person. Well, Mr. Biden, anybody else out there in the Democratic Party, here you go. Here's one person right here. You're seeking someone who can talk to people more eloquently on their level. I'm right here, Tyrone Glover, CEO, Leverage Credit Recovery. Holla at your boy. So having a positive credit score can lead to financial savings. Yes, you get out of a 16, 18, 24, 30%. You stop using those secondary, third marketplaces for financial products. Guess what you're going to do? You're going to save yourself money. And to you banks who don't give a flying farfignugan about consumers, guess what? You're eventually going to be put out of business by fintech. Oh, you didn't think a brother like me knew about fintech? Yes, I keep telling you. Insider's insider. I know more stuff than most people would ever think is possible for someone of this skin color to know. Oh, yeah, I'm ready for it. I'm ready for anyone, any day, any time of the week when it comes to my lane, and that lane is credit. I'm ready. I've been prepared. I am perfectly designed for this time in our history. And I'm taking on all challenges, all comers, anytime, your place or mine. All right, so lacking a good credit score doesn't automatically preclude approval, but it may lead to a less favorable term. If approved, the lender might impose a higher interest rate or request a larger down payment. When applying for utilities or other monthly services, there could be a requirement to pay a security deposit to initiate the service. Alternatively, the lender may speculate the need for a co-signer and individuals with a stronger credit history who become responsible for the repayment loan if you are unable to do so, therefore granting approval. Yes, and that's okay too. I'm perfectly fine with getting someone who can hold you accountable to making sure that you're going to do what you're supposed to do. I'm cool with that. I have zero problem. I have zero problem with paying higher interest rates just so I can renegotiate to bring them down. But I have a huge problem with being penalized at the onset. That don't make no sense. I have a huge problem because of what others have done. Now I'm going to be penalized before I even get the opportunity to even begin to do anything remotely close. Or I have a huge problem with the rehabilitation as well. You won't give the individuals the opportunity because you keep shutting the door on them. You keep shutting the door on them. How do you improve a situation when you keep shutting the door in somebody's face? You don't. And we know this is systemic. We know this has been something that's been going on forever. But it's now time to course correct. Just that simple. It's time to course correct. And I'm asking all of you, after this holiday season, put yourself on a course correction. Because if you do, I'm telling you, by the next holiday season, you'll probably be thinking, well, you know what? I'm not even going to think about spending any of that bread. I'm not even going to think about looking for credit products. And I know I'm not going to get it because all that's going to do is hurt my opportunities later on down the road. It's time to wake up. I know this woke word has been put out there in so many different varieties. I know that it's been hijacked on so many occasions, but right now it's being applied in the manner in which it needs to be applied. We got to wake up. Just that simple. Got to wake up. All right, so consider this scenario. Suppose you're seeking a 30-year mortgage amounting to $250,000 with a commendable credit score of 607. Your lender is willing to grant approval with a favorable APR of 3.43%. That sounds very reasonable. Man, where that lender at? The result is a monthly payment of $1,113 with an interest payment of $150,732 over the loan terms. Now, if your credit score were only fair at 659 and you qualified for a higher APR at 3.86, your monthly payment would increase to $1,173, and the total interest paid over the loan period would amount to $172,184. So you can see maintaining a good credit score in this scenario would translate to savings of $60 per month. Doesn't seem like a lot, but again, and subsequently totaling interest reductions of, there is where the money is, right there, and that interest. So you might not see it in your payment, so you probably think it's 60 and a lot. I can pay 60. Oh, do that over 30 years, and you'll probably see that it is a lot. Or again, that total interest that's now yours goes back in your pocket, all because you decided to, again, maintain a credit score that was above. And we're talking about 670. We're talking about 659. Imagine if you were in that 770, all right, or that 810 or that 820. Just think about that for a little bit. Just think about it. All right. So steps to obtaining a positive credit score. So follow these measures to achieve and sustain a credit score in the good or very good range. It's not that hard. I say it all the time. You're probably getting tired of me saying it. It's not that hard. It's really not that hard. It's actually pretty easy. You just have to know what to do. You have to understand that you're the one who can change the course of your financial future. You, not Equifax, TransUnion, or Experian, not the regulators, not the government, not your employer, you. And it's going to take you and me, or someone like me, sincere, honest, in your face. I don't demand anything, I command things. And there's a huge difference. I'm commanding you that you need to get in front of your stuff. I'm not demanding you, because you're going to do what you want. You're grown. But as a grown individual, it's nice to be able to take orders from someone who knows what you're going to have to do to make sure that you are okay financially. All right, so some of them steps. All right, so 1, verify your credit scores. Verify your credit scores. Obtaining your credit scores offers insight into your credit worthiness. Some credit card companies and lenders may provide you with a complimentary credit score. Alternatively, you can request it through the websites of the 3 major credit bureaus and other entities like FICO or Annual Credit Report. All right. Now, I know Annual Credit Report gives you just the report, but it helps you with understanding the trade lines. And when you understand the trade lines, you can look through and go, well, wait, hold on. This is not mine, or this is mine, or wait a minute, I never had a late payment, or what does this charge off mean? What are these collections doing here? There's a lot of stuff that might be in your credit profile that you are afraid of even addressing because you feel that, well, I did it, and now I'm feeling guilty, but now move all of that stuff to the side. It doesn't matter. Things in your credit report can be removed, but since you think like a consumer and not a business, you don't understand the importance of why we do what we do. Yet, you don't understand it yet. All right? There may be charges associated with obtaining your credit score, and this cost can vary depending on the bureau. Again, that bureau word, I love to keep reiterating. These are not bureaus. These are just agencies who are about their bottom line, their pocket. Ongoing promotions and whether you opt for an additional product or service. Some companies provide free credit scores as part of the credit monitoring service. Additionally, you may have the right to receive 1 free credit report from each of the 3 credit bureaus annually, and that has changed, and it might go back to that one. It all depends on what the beginning of the year shows us, whether or not CFPB, which is the Consumer Financial Protections Bureau, can continue to protect us, or are they going to turn their back on us as well? Oh yeah, I like the CFPB, but I also kind of question their best practices and their behaviors and their mannerisms. Are you really for the consumers? Or are you just following a government protocol that's all about putting up a facade and then actually doing the opposite? All right, you can access these reports either directly through the Bureau's website or by using annualcreditreport.com. So I like these entities. I love government. I appreciate government. I know that government is about governing. What I have a problem with is people, because people think that other people, they can rule other people. You can't rule other people. But the way that things have been going, it's questionable now. It's really questionable whether or not people really strongly believe that we should be leaning more towards not having a government, but having something like a dictatorship. I don't agree with that at all, but that's just me. And I'm hoping there's more than enough of us out there who equally believe in that understanding as well. All right, step 2, review and rectify credit reports. Review it and rectify it if there is a problem. FICO places significant emphasis on the total debt and amount owed when calculating the credit score. In contrast, the VantageScore considers the percentage of your credit limit in use as highly influential and total debt as moderately influential. So there you have it. You have two opposing sides, two institutions doing two different things, but ultimately having a negative or a positive on your credit report. To optimize your credit score, aim to keep your balances at or below 26% of your available credit by actively reducing existing debt. That's all your credit products, revolving credit products. So those are different. So that's a credit product. A revolving is a credit product. That's like a credit card. Things where the amount changes from month to month to month to month. An installment is where it's set. All right. Your mortgage is an installment. Your auto loan is an installment. Sometimes your loans, depending on what types of loans they are installment loans. But you do have products out there that are revolving, and those are the ones that you really want to make sure that credit score or that credit utilization is below that 26. It's going to help you out tremendously. I'll give you way more information when you call your boy. Call Tyrone. Erykah Badu, I said it before, gave you all permission to call Tyrone. And we'll talk more about how you keep that below that. All right, timely payments of bills. All right, paying your bills on time. That hard? Not at all. You got a calendar? There you are. You got a smartphone? There you are. Set it up that it dings, rings, whatever it needs to do so that you can pay them bills on time. And I want you to start putting all those bills into 1 week. Stop paying your bills over the course of the entire month. Put them all into 1 week, call them creditors and tell them, hey, my name is so-and-so and so-and-so, and I need to change my due dates because I am orchestrating my life to fit my needs and not your bottom line. Oh, what are they going to say? So what? Let them close it. Don't matter. Oh, you're going to get a customer service agent from where? Bangladesh, Mexico, because they've outsourced all of that. You're going to be talking to somebody who knows absolutely nothing about credit. They're following a script. Really? And you're going to let them tell you what you're going to do with your money? We got it twisted, folks, and I'm untwisting it. That's all. That's all. Nothing more. All right. Influential factors associated by all lenders, constituting 35% of your total credit score. 35, paying on time. 35, paying on time. 35. Maintain low balances. FICO places significant importance on the total debt and the amount owed. To optimize your credit profile, aim to keep your balances below 26% of your total available credit by actively reducing your debt. Again, same exact scenario. Reduce the debt. Bring it down to an amount that your lenders could say, okay, we're making money off of this individual, and they're also bringing down that overall balance. So it's letting you, again, if you've maxed it out and you brought it down to 26% from 100, that leaves 74%. That's good. That is really good. You freed up 74% after maxing it out, and you do that on a 30-day basis. Oh yeah, you're going to look very, 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 very good. And as you improve upon that behavior, you're going to start looking very, very, even more attractive to other lenders. But you got to get there first. All right, number 5, retain open fee-free credit cards. Fee-free. All right, stop getting these products that have these so-called perks. If you are someone who has less than, or even if you're someone who has exceptional, stop getting these products unless they are benefiting you. 2% cash back, thank you, Kevin Hart, but no thank you. 2% cash back, thank you, Samuel L. Jackson, but no thank you. 2% cash back, thank you, John Cena and the purple and white cow, but no thank you. Thank you to all those credit card advertisements that are out there, whether you are a famous individual or an infamous individual, because we see that commercial over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Doesn't matter. Thank you, but no thank you. What is 2%? It's absolutely nothing. When you're charging me 28 or 30 or somewhat higher, depending on the marketplace in which you are getting your products. Absolutely not. Thank you, but no thank you. 2023 is the no thank you end limit. This is where we tell them no thank you, because we're going into 2024 with the cleanup. Okay, cleanup time, folks. Clean up. No thank you. Done did the harm, done did everything that I needed to do. So no thank you. Clean up time. Let's take that all the way into 2025. Then hopefully you're sitting pretty. Then hopefully you are now in a position where you can start looking at things again and saying, okay, but they're going to have to meet my terms and conditions. Just that simple. It's just that easy. To sustain a lengthy credit history and optimize credit of available credit, thereby minimizing your credit utilization ratio, is advisable to keep cards open, especially those with zero annual fees. All right. So they might try to get you with the interest, but stop getting caught on the annual fee as well. You've got to learn how to negotiate. We don't know how to negotiate because we don't speak business language. We speak consumer feelings. Oh yeah, I said it. We speak consumer feelings and not business language. You hear how I'm talking? I'm talking as if I am the CEO of a company. I'm talking as if I'm the CEO of my household because I speak proper business language. If you were to go to a foreign country, what is one of the things that you would probably bring with you? Yep. A translator or a dictionary. Yeah, those are important because you're now somewhere where you can't navigate as freely as you should. I love that when I first moved to Germany, one of the most important things that they always said that you need to know is, wo ist die Bahnhof? I was like, what the heck is that? Where's the train station? Oh, okay, that makes perfect sense, because if you ever get lost somewhere, at least you can get on the train and it bring you back to the nearest place that you might be able to get picked up at. But even then, you can make the mistake of saying something that might sound similar to something else, like one of my friends did when he was over there. He got on the train, got off the train, and said he wanted to go to Menden, or Minden, M-I-N-D-E-N, instead of Menden, which is M-E-N-D-E-N. And he ended up 200 and something miles away from where he needed to be. So again, it's really important to be able to speak that language and speak it articulately and eloquently enough that you can get what you want. Because I told you, some customer service agents, they don't know nothing. That secondary support, they don't know nothing. Sometimes you just got to say, you know what? See ya. Let them come to you after you've improved your circumstance. It's not that hard. All right, number 6, limit the frequency of new credit applications. That's going to have another huge ramification on how your credit looks. If you're out there desperately seeking, that's not good. It's not good. Although new credit has a reduced impact on both your FICO and your Vantage score, it's advisable to minimize frequent credit applications to maintain a good credit score. Frequent applications can lend to hard inquiries, which may have a negative impact on your credit score. So hard inquiries, remember, negative impact. Soft inquiries are what if you're out, say, and you call Equifax you call Equifax Transact on Experian, let's use them as an example. They want to charge you whatever it is that they want to charge you to get your credit report and the score. That's considered a soft inquiry, so you won't be dinged. All right, but if you're out looking for a credit product, that's a whole different inquiry. That's called a hard inquiry. There you will be dinged. But the best way to get around all of that is to start securing your credit with your own resources. Securing your credit with your own resources is going to help you out tremendously. Because, number one, and I've asked this before, I need the smart guys. Those of you who sit in the ivory towers, those of you who sit on the pedestals, those of you who have the brains bigger than whatever you want to think that your brain is consumed with all that information. Why is it that? and I've asked this, and I'm going to keep asking it every single show on Saturday and also on Tuesdays. How is it that when you secure your own product with your own money, how is it that you're being charged interest? Okay? Everybody who's out there who understands anything about interest, that means it's attached to something that I'm borrowing. But if I'm securing it with my own money, how am I paying that much interest? Pretty simple. They're getting over. All right, I'll say it again. They're getting over, and they're going to constantly keep getting over on us if we allow it. All right, it's not that hard, folks. It's not that hard. We have to break these cycles. We have to change the trajectory of how our money works for us. Right? Nothing hard about this. Nothing. I love saying that there's nothing hard about this because there's nothing hard about this. You get out of your own way, you answer the door, that opportunity is knocking, and you call Tyrone. All right? Broaden the types of credit. When seeking credit, contemplate obtaining a loan or another type of credit that you currently do not possess to diversify your credit mix. All right, it's nice to have a nice credit mix. Like I said before, when you got a salad, I like my salads to have iceberg lettuce, and I like my salads to have spinach. I also like to have in my salads, I like to put some raisins and some nuts. I love to have a variety of different assortment of meats. And then after that's done, I'll mix it up. I might even put a few cucumbers in there. Cucumbers are heavily based with water, so I really like a lot of cucumbers because it makes everything else soggy. And I'll put some carrots, tomatoes. Me and that is not always the best of friends, but I'll slice up a couple and throw those in there as well. I'll mix that up, and that's the mix that your credit needs to look like as well. Right? You need to have a nice credit mix, a variety of different credit products that looks attractive too whenever you get ready to go out there and you start, again, seeking other credit products. But secure these credit products first with your own resources. After you secure them, you're probably going to be sitting in a much better place when it comes to other lenders looking at you and going, hey, you know what? I think this is a partner that we want to partner with. But as I said, make sure your lenders are authentic. Make sure that they're paying attention because you should be paying attention. And make sure they understand you're not this immature, uneducated individual who doesn't know what they're doing when it comes to their credit. All right, we're about 12 minutes out from shutting it down and moving on to the next week, waiting for those other fantastic shows that are going to be either popping up tonight or popping up throughout the week. And as I stated before, you definitely want to make sure that you are tuning into every single show that Soul City Networks bring because there's a lot of knowledge out there. There's a lot of talented, bright, savvy, brilliant, wonderful people who look just like you on this network, giving us valuable information that is going to change the trajectory of how you are going to be able to navigate in this world. And all you got to do is tune in. All you got to do is tune in. All right? Definitely tune into my girl, Dr. Yana B. All the other shows as well. A variety. Come back and take a look. But Dr. Yana B., who's in my space, my lane, again, Access Wealth Nation on Thursdays, definitely check that out. Oh, yeah, I'm throwing out mad advertisement for her. She knows what she does is phenomenal. And it's all about helping us people, poor, marginalized, middle class, ever eroding middle class, the full-time working homeless. That's a category that I was stunned at even hearing, that you are full-time, got a job, and you might be living in your car. Or you might be living with relatives. Nothing wrong with the relative part, but there's something dearly wrong with living in that car part. All because of inadequate credit opportunities, inadequate credit abilities to move it into a more of a substantial area. As I said, one more time, what is it? It's not that easy. Yes, it is. Thank you. So What is your FICO score? And FICO, again, stands for Fair Isaac Corporation, right? Fair is one guy, Isaac is another guy. Yes, these were individuals. All right, so overall, as I said before, here you have it, 35%. You mess up here, you're not going to be able to make it up from these remaining pieces. You mess up here, you're not going to be able to make it up from these remaining pieces. So it's really important to make sure that you pay on time. Payment history, 7-year history of payment records on your account type. All right, you don't want to have any public records, no bankruptcies, no delinquencies. If you do, again, these are all things that can be removed from and off your credit profile. All right, details on late or missing payments, number of accounts with no late payments. Again, it doesn't matter what has happened. You're not in jail. You're not in financial jail, but unfortunately, it seems like it for too many of us, but you're not. You just had some mishaps. You just had some mistakes. You just had some issues in the past. Your past should not be something that's preventing your future. All right, so if you meet that 35%, let's move on over to this 30. That's the amount owed. That's how you bring down your utilization. In any country that I've worked in, again, amount owed and payment history, that's 65%. That is a passing grade. So why not start off with the passing grade? And then, as I said, credit should be a rocket ship. It should not be these ebbs and flows. It should not be these ebbs and flows. And it definitely should not be stagnant. It should be a rocket ship going up, 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 because you're meeting the terms and conditions of the contractual obligations that you got into. And now we need to require of the entities to do the exact same thing. Meet the terms and conditions of all parties. We know that you're meeting the terms and conditions of your pocket. We know that you're meeting the terms and conditions of Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian, but you're not meeting the terms and conditions of us, the consumers, who you are truly accountable for. All right. Fair Credit Reporting Act, Equifax, TransUnion, Experian, banks, creditors, lenders, lenders, people who don't think that we know these things. Fair Credit Reporting Act. There are 5 consumer protection acts out there that are protecting us, but yet they think we don't know. Well, guess what? We're going to be doing a show on that as well come next year, because we know. And we're going to hold your feet to the fire. All right, so like I said, 65% overall, 65. So you can get some ancillary points from these areas here. This one here is the credit history. What has also been happening here is that even though you have an oldest account, newest account, what we find out is here is that they've also, if you go out and get new credit, they're going to reduce your history. What brainiac came up with that one? What business person, of course, protecting their bottom line, said, hey, you know what? You know how we can harm more people? We're going to, as they get new credit, we're going to lower the history. We got it now, right? Even more shenanigans, even more tomfoolery, all at our expense. So again, I asked 2 questions already. How is it that you can charge me interest on a borrowed product? And which one of you brainiacs decided to come up with a policy that does, again, more harm to consumers by reducing their history, all because they get a new credit product? All right, so say you don't get the full 15, say you get 10. 65 and 10 is 75. Again, rocket. New credit, as I said, anytime you're out there inquiring, you want to chill on that inquiring, and you want to start securing it with the bread that you have. I like saying bread because my students use that all the time. It's just a cool way of saying money. All right, money. All right, so you want to make sure, again, that you're not inquiring, because that's going to have a detrimental impact on your credit. But as you can see, you don't get the full 15, you get 10, add that to 65, that's going to be 75. Add another 5 to that, now you're at 80. And then lastly, the types of credit. That's that revolving area, types of credit. How are you managing your credit types, that credit mix? Okay, you might not get the full 10, but say you get another 5. 65, 10, 75, 5, 80, another 5, 85. You're well on your way to upwards trajectory. I told you it's not hard. It's easy. It's easy. You got to get out of your way. And as I've always said, opportunity is knocking, and I am here to answer the call. Open the door, folks. All right, so the main points to review. A favorable credit score is considered at or above the average of the U.S. consumer, typically corresponding to a FICO score of at least 670 and a Vantage score at least 661. Achieving such a score enhances the likelihood of loan approvals and allows for favorable interest rates and terms, resulting in potential long-term savings. To obtain a good credit score, review your credit scores and credit reports regularly. All right, not once a year, not once when I need a product, not once every 2, 3, 5, 10. No, all the time. This is a report card about your behavior. Okay. Foster positive borrowing habits such as consistently making on-time payments on loans to build and maintain a strong credit profile. What more can I say about this show today? All right, what more can I say? Other than let me give you some of my information on how to get in contact with us. Because we know you're out there. We know that you hear us. We know that you're going through it. And all we want to do is help you out. All right, so our mailing address is Leverage Credit Recovery, P.O. Box 555, Yonkers, New York, 10702. Phone number is 805-428-9424. Once again, that phone number is 805-428-9424. And our email is leveragecreditrecovery@gmail.com. That is leveragecreditrecovery@gmail.com. And we use this new thing called Linktree. Our website is under construction. So it's really important that we get out a new, bright, bold, attractive, wonderful, attention-catching, eye-catching, award-winning new website for you so that you can come to us and realize, okay, you know what? These people are sincere. These people are about making sure that we, as I said, the working poor, the ever-eroding middle class, the full-time working homeless, our most vulnerable, which are our teens making it into adolescence, or adolescents making it into teens, or teens making it into adults, however you choose or whatever. We need to start making sure that we are all going to be okay. That category, because the rich are still going to get richer. And I would love to see the poor start benefiting off of the opportunities that are already out there. So use our Linktree, link linktr.ee/leverage credit recovery. All right, that Linktree is amazing. And we are also on most of social media. Not all of social media, but most of social media. Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, also known as X. All right, so we're out there. We're doing what we need to be doing to make sure that you understand you're going to have to get out of your way. If you get out of your way, trust me when I tell you, you're going to be able to capitalize. As I say always, every single week, I love what I do. I love what I do. It is amazing to be able to do this, and I'm going to continue to keep doing it as long as the good man upstairs allows for me to do it. And as always, my name is Tyrone Glover, and I am the dressed down CEO of Leverage Credit Recovery, coming to you from Yonkers, my place of birth, where I love and live. And I'm asking you to get out of your own way. Do what you got to do to maintain. Do what you got to do to get into a space where it's going to make sense. And I'm telling you, we're here to help. Again, America, be safe.